What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Box Office Banter as we continue to press onward with our October horror movie reviews. This is yet another franchise, as was promised. I Know What You Did Last Summer 1, 2, and 3. Now, I know this franchise gets a lot of flack with the second and the third entry in particular, but that's just what the vast majority thinks. What do I think? Could I possibly like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer? Could I possibly like I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer? Tune in and find out. This might be a little quicker one because, once again, I'm by myself. I think we're going to have the Final Destination review, at least with Rodney, though, so stay tuned for that, guys. All right, let's make it simple here. I Know What You Did Last Summer, the first movie, is a classic, for sure. A lot of people think it is the quintessential 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, post Scream slasher movie. Scream's the gold standard. What is the silver standard? I Know What You Did Last Summer is. You got Jennifer Love, huge tits in this one, as everybody likes to token her. We should be a little bit more respectful, right, guys? Okay, she does have some big titties, and there's nothing wrong with that. Jennifer Love Hewitt was hot as hell in this movie. Debatably hotter, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, but we'll get there, right? Right, guys? Right. She does pretty good here, overall, like as an actress, I think. We're not an actress because that's tough to say with this type of movie, but for a final girl, I think she's damn solid. Not one of the best, nowhere near one of the worst either, though. This is a girl that she's even made jokes about how she just never gets any love from critics. You know what, right here? Love from critics or not, you deserve some love here. Good job, Jennifer Love Hewitt. It also is filled out by a just stellar cast for that time frame. I mean, this grouping of four. Ryan Phillippe. I always thought his name was Ryan Philippine growing up for some reason, and then I was like, "What the fuck is it, Felipe?" Whatever. Never been able to say his name right ever since, but obviously he's been ever present in movies from that time. He just was all over these type of younger, but we're kind of on the edge of high school and college, maybe just out of college, hot teen, heartthrob kind of guy movie. Like, he was always in those flicks, and now he's just in the bargain bin at Walmart. But everybody remembers him. Freddie Prinze Jr., stole the heart of a lot of women. So, we got a good-looking cast overall here. A lot of guys, too, I'm sure. Come on. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Damn. Could even debate she's even hotter than Jennifer Love Hewitt. So this is a good-looking cast. Checklist right there. Because we got to have that in a horror movie, right? As far as, like, villain. Very underrated villain in my mind. It has waned a bit the more I've gotten older. Even on this watch, I was like, is he really that fucking cool, though? But when I was a kid, maybe it's because I was born in 91. I was 6 years old, I believe, when the first one that we're talking about right now came out. I was hooked on it. I was like, holy shit, this guy looks creepy as shit. Now it's just like, it's just some dude in a fisherman coat. But, yeah, it had been done in Candyman prior to it. 6 years later, Candyman was 91, I believe. I think this was 97. Fact check me. I'm not saying it's foolproof, but whatever. Around that time frame, it had been done before. But the hook is a dope ass weapon. Hasn't been utilized too much. And then the outfit works. It is grim. It is menacing. It hides the face, which is always good, and which is huge for this era of slashers. It was always the whodunit angle, Giallo style. And I think the killer is really good here for that reason. Maybe could have been an icon if I still could have stuck the landing. But again, we'll get there. How do I feel about it? The kills, I think all the kills are pretty good. You got old Leonard or whatever the fuck, I don't know his actor name from Big Bang Theory. He gets a nice one right in the fucking right here, then pulled forward, which would later be recreated. And I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. But this one's got a little more, not as much menace, but it's got that grim, more atmospheric type of moment before the kill happens. It's really good. And overall, the kills aren't bad. They're not overly bloody, but they are suspenseful. The build up to said kills, to where I can definitely give the kills a pass here. Let's talk about the motherfucking. Is there a good chase scene? The chase scene with Sarah Michelle Gellar is phenomenal to me. Phenomenal might be a strong word, but it's damn close. Like, I am on pins and needles the whole time. Now you could be like, oh, they took that from Halloween, but yeah, maybe it's more of a homage where she's running up, and then her sister, another amazingly attractive woman. What's her name again? What in the fuck is her name? I actually know that. The girl from the teacher from Billy Madison, Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat. is her sister, and she's like letting her in, and then he's fucking from a distance coming at her while she's like, let me in, let me in. And of course she's got to go get the keys, and Sarah Michelle Gellar's like, what are you doing? Oh my God, come back here. And she's like, I got the keys. And like them when the girl, we'll just call her Sonya Blade. Let's just do that. When Sonya Blade has to go to the back door, the door is like open or unlocked or whatever the fuck it is. And she's like, huh, that's fucking weird. And of course he's in there. That whole scene, fucking top notch. The last scene on the boat, I think, was actually for, there's not a lot of distance or a lot of places they can really roam around, but they make the most out of that shit. When she's got to dig through the ice, she's trying to block them, and bodies are falling out. The whole premise in general of just having, an accident, but it's an accident that's induced by alcohol. Now, I know Freddie Prinze Jr. probably could have pulled all this off if it wasn't for Ryan Philippe or whatever the fuck you call him. But him acting a fool like that really set the stage for just, like if they weren't distracted, they could have been just fine. So at the end of the day, let's blame him. And of course, he's more worried about his fucking car than he is the person or whatever they just hit. Because he's the absolute douchebag in this movie, which brings me to my next point. I don't understand how Freddie Prinze Jr. can put up with this motherfucker in this movie. Because it's joked about in Scary Movie where he's like, Cindy, you're not going to tell. And he's like beating the shit out of her in fucking Scary Movie. Like, we're taking it to the grave. That's how it is in this movie. You're watching Freddie Prinze Jr. just look at this guy just almost to the point where he's just like abusing his girlfriend right in front of him. And you're just wanting to be like, grow some motherfucking balls. He was more ready to take on the fisherman than he was him. Like, how does that fucking work? But yeah, overall, guys, this movie has got a lot of good things going for it. Is it a great movie? I don't even know if I'll go there. Is it a great slasher movie, though? Mid-90s, what I kind of talked about and touched on with Urban Legend. To me, it is. I think this is a really good movie. I think it's great even. It used to be like one of my favorite movies ever, like top 50 type shit. I love this movie growing up. It has came down a little bit, but even with all that, man, it's a really well put together, great cast, great looking cast, solid tension in spots, kills filled movie. I shouldn't say kills filled, but the ones that you get are effective. There's no real throwaway ones. Not about the blood, but the tension that really builds up to those. All the things work here. I Know What You Did Last Summer is a great movie to me, and I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Going there. But I still Know What You Did Last Summer. How good is that? Everybody hates this movie, and let me just go ahead and say, I don't fucking know why. This movie is a blast to me. The kills, maybe not as tension-induced, but there is still some tension there, to me at least. I love the setting about, like they're on this fucking like island. They can't get off. It's been used a million fucking times, but it's still fun to watch these people being on this secluded island. There's a damn hurricane happening. There's something about rain that makes every damn scene better. The rain's fucking pouring down. That killer's out there somewhere. You got the killer maybe even being more menacing with how brutal he is with these kills. The new cast, I've always been a fan of Mekhi Phifer. I think he's a better dickhead than Ryan's last name we won't pronounce this time. Freddie Prinze Jr. I like a little more, even though he's not with the crew. I like watching his journey of them trying to get to them. Normally that would frustrate me, but I was actually intrigued because like he actually has some balls this time around. It feels like he's doing everything he can to get there, and that was somewhat admirable after him seeming like just like this guy that couldn't step up to anything. Even like at the end of the movie, it felt fake. Like he's here and he's doing this, but it didn't feel earned. In this one, it felt like, okay, yeah, he's going for it all, but like maybe he's learned from all that. So I liked his character better. Brandy, I used to have a big crush on her, dude, when I was younger. So I was like, yep, she's a good fill-in for Sarah Michelle Gellar. And then the new guy, Ben's son, that whole twist that's kind of corny, but also oddly works for me. I do love at the end of the movie where he's like, I can't find a wound anymore. She's trying to patch him up. He's like, it's because it's not my blood. I do dig that. Like what's the capital of Brazil? Rio de Janeiro. It's Brasilia. I remember being a kid and I actually knew that fact. And for some reason, random fact about me, that like enthralled me. I was like, that's not the capital of Brazil. The movie got that wrong. And then later in the movie, I was like, oh, now I get it. Yeah. Used to be weirdly good with capitals, but that's a story for another time. Y'all want me to make another YouTube video about that? I'll talk about how I'm really good at capitals. No, stick on the subject, right? Yeah. So characters in this movie, and they're able to get the same guy that played the last fisherman back. He's not some amazing actor, but he looks menacing enough. He fits the part. So that was cool for the camaraderie, tying the ends together and kind of weaving that into this movie. We get Jack Black in this movie, which everybody hates his character. I actually like it. Like it's goofy as fuck, but that's Jack Black for you, and it's just kind of fun watching this movie in like a way like, what the fuck is Jack Black doing right now? Like, why is he in this movie? Where you'd be like, why is Jack Black even in this movie? It's goofy. And this movie, this was back when Jack Black wasn't ever really that kind of funny guy. So watching him kind of like do all this really for like the first time that I at least saw was kind of entertaining in a weird way when I was younger. Again with the kills, dude. Like I said, they recreated the dude from Big Bang Theory's death. Where that's the guy from Eastbound and Down, Kenny Powers' brother. That dude that's been in like every fucking movie is like not quite a main character, but like a side character enough to where you remember him. He got hooked through the jaw, pulled out of the fucking car. When they want like when he hooks the fucking the one maid and just like picks her up and he's just dragging her away and she's dangling. The guy that got stabbed, the guy that was like, it's Brasilia, that they thought might be the killer at one point. I thought it was really good. He just like kicked it through him and the other girl, whatever the girl looks almost like punk rocker. I don't really know. I can't remember her name in the movie or know her actress name. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about. At least I hope so. And then, well, if I describe the kill, you should know, right? And then, of course, who was I just about to say? There's somebody else. Oh yeah, like Mekhi Phifer, his death. Like I thought that was great. It came out of nowhere, just got hooked and was getting pulled up. The blood. Now that I'm getting older, I'm noticing it's a little CGI, but it's not too distracting as much as like we see that nowadays with newer movies. You feel like you're in a fucking video game. I guess there wasn't enough of it to where you'd be like, oh, I know exactly what that is. Here it was just kind of quick and it was like little bursts. Like a neck probably actually would do it. Probably wouldn't be like. It just like. Yeah. Very well done there. And like I said, the setting, the kills, everything. More fun. Doesn't take itself as serious, but there is serious moments. Jennifer Love Hewitt is even hotter here. I'm not a Bangs fan. She's got the bangs in the first one. This one, she just looks dope. And I like the sun coming into the picture. And I like their little moment at the end with the rain. And then, he says, it's Ben, son, do you get it? Like, what's your favorite radio station, Julia? All that shit. For some weird reason, that does work for me. Jennifer Love Hewitt's more of a badass here. Like, she's been here before. I really enjoy this movie. In fact, I love it. And for the first time, I think, ever, maybe since I was a little kid, I think I like this one better. It's going to be crazy. It's only going to be 0.1 better, but I'm going to give it an 8.6 out of 10. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is... I still really love this movie as a slasher fan. And I find it hard to believe, not if you don't like these kinds of movies, you're going to definitely like I Think I Know What You Did Last Summer better. That might be a guilty pleasure for you. This ain't really your style. This one might be a little out there. But if you're like a big slasher movie guy and you know what all that entails, or like the cheesiness, sometimes goofiness, you're just really watching it for kills or like that weird comfy feeling we get when we watch these movies. I know I do. These are my comfort movies. Yeah, I just want to watch people get decapitated and fucked up and grabbed up by hooks and all this shit, whether that be Hellraiser like the other reviews or this. I want to see that so I can be comfortable. You're that guy. You're that weird fucker like me. Then I don't know how you don't like this movie. Why is this movie even hated on by slasher fans like that? Help me out. I do not get it. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is an 8.6 out of 10 for me. I said it. I went there, and it is exactly what I needed it to be. Hey, baby. My daughter's waving at me. Yeah. Okay. So that's I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Okay. I'll always know what you did last summer. I must have been high on crack. Stopped doing that a while ago. Just kidding. Never done crack. Don't put my name out there like that, people. But you know the expression, and I don't often use it because it's overused and it's kind of played out, and it's like, why the fuck? But this might be a good time to say that. It's the first time I saw this movie, I shit you not, I was like, surprisingly not bad. I've watched it like 3 times since because, I'll rewatch these movies. These are like favorites of mine, the first two when I was a kid. And I'm a, a completist. I'm just like, I'm going to fucking watch the third one too. I got to close it out. And every time I just wish I didn't. This movie is definitely direct to video. You can feel that from the jump. There is an element to these direct to video movies that looks like, I can't even explain it. Well, I don't know. Maybe direct to video is the right answer, but like it's got that. I had this when I watched this. I had it down pat. I actually didn't write anything out for these ones, but there's a certain type of direct to video. There's direct to video looks almost like strangely glossy, like they're trying to fix up that it's not direct to video, but guess what? It's still direct to video. There's ones that try something like that and it actually is like, oh shit, this actually doesn't look direct to video. Then there's ones like this that are just like, this looks direct to video as fuck. Now there's even a step below that that's like, did y'all shoot this on like a camcorder from like the fucking 90s? Like what, the grain and like who did this? Like this is clearly a home video. But this is a step up from that, but it's that low tier direct to video. And the characters, I just can't get into them. We have one blonde haired dude that's actually in Final Destination 2 in this one. You know, there's a little crossover between franchises we're doing. He was, I guess more of the dick-ish kind of guy, or maybe I just always think that guy's a dick. He just plays a dick or looks like he'd be a dick. And everybody else was forgettable as fuck. And the only reason I think that guy's memorable because it was every time I watch him, I'm like, oh, the guy from Final Destination 2. And this time I'm like, oh, the guy from Final Destination 2. And then also I have the fact that I'm also about to review those. Fuck yeah, okay, that's that guy. And the opening, it's okay at the little carnival or whatever they're at, and they're pulling a prank, and then there was supposed to be a mat for the guy that was falling down, and then they're like, what is with the cops, though, or where's our buddy at? And they go back like, who moved the mat? Somebody moved the mat, and Matt went splat. I don't know if his name's Matt. Can't remember. But dude did not survive the fall. He got, I think it was like a tractor with like a beam or something. He like went through it. Something fucking stupid like that. And if that's the case, then if you're thinking about it, really, he wasn't going to hit the mat anyways, people. He's going to hit the tractor. But, hey, to argue, maybe that's why the mat was moved. The tractor was like, you're in my fucking parking spot. But was he ever going to hit the mat? Now, this is the question about this movie, people. And then, of course, time goes on. They make a pact, like, this summer. And you're wondering who this killer is. And, like every other one, they start dying one by one. Like, we got to stop this. And it builds up to the conclusion. And it's all so boring and forgettable. I can't really say anything redeeming about this movie. I will say it's not as bad as I remember it. That's right. I went from, like, it was okay for what it was to being like, good God, I can't watch this. Good God, I can't watch this, to being like, this sucks. Like, I can watch it in the background at least. I couldn't even do that before. So I'm going to give it that, but it's still not worth your time. Do not watch this movie. You should not watch this movie. This isn't those, if you're like me, that true to the rule, pure horror fan that just, like, he'll find a way to, like, go through 50 direct-to-video movies or 49 direct-to-video movies that are god-awful so he can find that one gem on the 50th try. This isn't the 50th try, people. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer was not some surprise. It was pretty garbage. And, of course, we get the ending where it is the fisherman, and now he's supernatural. Just don't think that works for this franchise. I would have rather them choose some random fucking guy or just recast some of the different fucking name. I just don't like the supernatural edge here. That did not help. And overall, as it went to the closing credits, I was just, man, this movie just did not work, did it? God. And somebody who loves I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, I wanted this to be more of a franchise. But everybody else hated I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. So shame on you people, because now this is what we get. Can we at least admit I Still Know What You Did Last Summer? You don't have to agree with me that it's better than the first one. Oh, my God. I still can't believe I said that. It's probably a little sacrilege, right? But it's better than the third one, and that's what we got because we didn't see it. Now I know what you're thinking. Like, I didn't care for the third one, and if I saw the second one and didn't like it, but I went and saw it and supported it, then there's a third one coming out, and it's supposed to be marginally better than this just because it has a bigger budget, but I don't give a fuck. Why would I even care? You got me there. But damn it, you could have fucking helped me out. And I don't even know if that made sense. was trying to explain something. You know how it is as a reviewer, watcher, person, whatever the fuck you are. Guys, this has been I Know What You Did Last Summer, 1 through 3, and I'm not going to forget the rating. I'm not going to do that to you guys. The third one is going to get a 2.5 out of 10. Not quite a 1, but a 2.5. Damn. Could have been an interesting trilogy. We didn't get it, though. Love you guys. Hopefully we are back with at least Rodney for the Final Destination review. Let me know what you guys think about this franchise. I actually am really curious. As much as the first one's talked about, the second and third one are kind of washed away. What do you think of this franchise? Not just the first one. As a whole, how do you feel about it? Does it just get you going? Let me fucking know. Love you guys. Good night.